Hey everyone, this is Mr. Everything, and in this video I wanted to do an unboxing and first impressions of the iPad Magic Keyboard. This is for the latest iPad Pros, which will be the M4, the 2024 series. The main drawback, which is kind of understandable, is with the new iPads, uh, unfortunately none of your old keyboards, your Magic keyboards will work. I do believe they will work with the iPad Air, because it's the 12.9. If you had the larger one, but the old ones you can't put them on the new, and the new won't fit on the old, vice versa. It's just because I guess the magnets have been rearranged to house the different camera, and then plus on top of that, Apple gets to sell you a new product. But in the good way is this one has it shapes it a little bit different at the angle, so you should be able to get more of a vertical, kind of like a laptop, and then you can still tilt back. You have an aluminum base for your palm rests. Now I went with the 13-inch version this time, mostly just because since I had the 11-inch, I was pretty happy with it. But the fact that I had to get a new keyboard anyway if I wanted one, I figured, well, since I can't carry it over, I'll just get the 13, get the max, experience you can get, and just do it once. Deal with it then, and then I'll have it all, taken care of for the rest of the life of this. I have the biggest one. Now I bought this from Amazon. You can kind of tell if it comes up on camera, someone's paw prints. This is a little bit dirty, so the difference of buying from Amazon compared to directly from Apple. But at the moment, there's a weight on the space black one from Apple, and it was next day from Amazon. So this does have quite a bit of heft to it, I have to say. And I might speak a little as someone that had the original Magic Keyboard for years and really liked it. I only kind of got replaced once I got a MacBook. There's really not too much here to show. It's basically just the one iPad in every language, so it's only really working with one device now. Although we'll see if in future iterations, if it's, I would imagine it'll still be supported. I mean, this is a lot of money, and that's, especially for the 13-inch model, it's another $50. That spring, or that hinge, is nice and stiff for the first use. I'm really impressed, though, right off the bat, with this aluminum. That looks really nice. You can see my kind of like that condensation or whatever builds up on it. The only thing I don't like is that they kept this soft touch on the outside. I'm not saying they should have made it all aluminum. I'm sure it would cost more, it would weigh more, and it would kind of be too much like a MacBook. I'm sure they don't want to go for that. They want them separate. But these will show scratches, and they will show stains, and especially I'd imagine in the white color variant. But my old one, surprisingly, my edges never frayed. I wasn't taking it in and out of backpacks or anything. I just kept it at home almost exclusively. You got your pins here, your camera cutout up here. Same type of microfiber backing. But let me just go ahead and get this set in here. And it obviously lines up with the pins on the back of the iPad. And let's see here. Now you do get this larger trackpad, which is probably one of the nicer, in addition to the just aluminum redesign. And then you get that function key row up the top, which there's nothing wrong with that. I didn't really mind it too much without it, but obviously I prefer it to be there. So you can see everything is working. Now, to me, I mean, I'm not gushing over this because, again, using the old generation one for all those years, I'm not really, it's not nothing revolutionary, but it is a nice upgrade. Okay. Let's try. Not bad. The best part was that it wasn't even on camera, which makes it even better. And it seems like everything here, caps lock, does light up. And then you can bring up your emojis with this. A little bit hard to get this all in the same frame, but... And let me go ahead and... So hopefully you can see that the keyboard is backlit. I'm not sure if it adjusts by the ambient iPad light sensor, or if it's based off of where you set your screen brightness. So let me go ahead and check something here. Yeah, so it's all automatic, but it's saying you can. So I'd like to try that and see if that will work. General keyboard, hardware keyboard, and then there it is. Which you can see, let me go ahead. I usually like it somewhere in between. So it looks like it'll adjust it anyway, which I believe is what the MacBooks do. Once you kind of, like, if you want it at max brightness, when it gets darker, I think it'll still bring it down some, but not as much as if you kept it here. It might get really dim, but I can play around with that off camera. It's something, I assume I was able to do that on the older Magic Keyboard. I probably just was something I did when I first got it and was satisfied with it and never adjusted it since. And again, you can kind of lay this one at more of a 90-degree angle. Probably be good for on your stomach when you're doing the binge watching in bed. Flip it up, as the same as with the old one. And then this weighs quite a bit, but then also I'm going from a 11 inch to a 13, but then being a different build quality, I think this does have significantly more weight. Even though I went up a couple inches, probably the 11 would weigh more too. You still have the C pass-through charging. One thing I will confirm in the comments is I bought a glass screen protector to put on this, and it should still, like, you can see this is basically a minuscule gap, if a gap at all. So I think I thought I saw in some of the written reviews that people said it didn't like cause it to act weird, so it doesn't get caught on anything. It should still lay flush. So I will have to try that and confirm in the comments. But I really like this space black with this like black aluminum. I will say, if I did not have a MacBook, and I like my MacBook in the there we go, a little hard to do. Not sure if it's just the springs extra tighter. I have to just get used to it, but no issue there. I'll be okay with that. But my MacBook, I have just a raw aluminum look. If I didn't have a MacBook and I wanted to kind of feel like I had one, I'd probably just get this in the raw aluminum, but you're paying almost the same amount, and actually more than a MacBook Air or something. So it really just depends. I wanted to go with this just to have, so I feel like I'm on something different than the MacBook. And with this 13-inch screen in this position, it does feel quite hefty. I do lose a little bit of that smaller screen, that more portable factor. You go for the MacBook, it's bigger and heavier. Well, now you go for this, and it's nowhere near as big as the 14-inch or as heavy, but it's getting a lot closer. But the good news is you keep that big screen real estate. You get basically what feels like a full-size laptop-style keyboard, and it's still in a thinner and lighter package than a MacBook. And a lot of people talk about balance. I mean, this isn't bad. You see I'm tapping it, and it's dancing around a little bit, but it's not flipping over. I think, again, at least just from when I was holding the keyboard by itself, it weighed quite a bit more. So I think it's pretty well balanced. It might even be a little better than what I was used to with the prior iPad and Magic Keyboard. These are not that great on your lap. I could really understand why in public you'd be worried, if you're out, especially on a sidewalk or outside, if it would tip. But in the home, especially in bed or laying on your stomach, I don't think that it's going to tip. I never had that issue with the 11 inch. But if you're again standing up, will have it on your lap and it's kind of sloped that way, then maybe it would be a cause for concern. But I will say I think it's better than the prior one, and it's a lot better than a kickstand like a Microsoft Surface, which I also have. And with those kickstands, I mean, there's almost no good way to use those unless you're on a table. Just even in bed, on your stomach, it just does not work comfortably. This is way better than that, but probably not as good as a laptop or Mac. And when you're done with it, pops right back off. Simple as can be, the on and off. And I got this. Again, it's overpriced, but it's something that I wanted to have in a case basically day one. This iPad it's just so thin and nice big screen. I do not want to drop it. I don't know how much this would help with drop protection, but at least it'll help with scratch protection. Close it up, and you wouldn't have to worry about things scratching it now like this. Even the iPad Folio case is $100. Right now, there's not too many options, just some third parties. Some of your leather ones are almost as much as an Apple Folio case, so you might as well, if you want a keyboard, again, just pay that extra bit up front and then you're set for the rest of the life of this iPad. So long as I don't run into any bugs, I think I'm going to have a good keyboard here, just continue where the last series left off with no issues. Now, this product's still fairly new, especially for Amazon. There's not that many reviews, but for some reason there actually are a few negative ones. I'm not sure if they're defective units or what, but on Amazon you get that good return policy. I would recommend buying it from Apple if they have it in stock, because you're not getting any discounts from anyone right now anyway, so might as well just get it directly from them. Probably get the best support. But as long as I don't have any hardware issues or defects with this, or bugs, I didn't have any with the prior one, I don't see this ever being an issue. I paid all that money up front, but it should be simple. Just open it up, use it, close it, and you're done. Probably won't even take the iPad out of it, maybe just to wipe it off here and there. So I'm happy with it. I got a full setup here, and maybe I'll come back with some other content on this new iPad. Got a lot of fun and exploring and some work to do with it. So thanks for watching, and you'll see me in the next one. Have a good one.